Today on PB and Cashew, we have sports, and more sports because there's a lot of playoff games. The MLB season is really, really good, and we do have a lot of things we have to say about sports. So, another sports episode for you on the PB and Cashew Show.
What's up, PB Cashew Bill? It's your boy Cashew.
And it's your boy PB.
It's been a minute. You know, the last time we actually did an episode was Zach, and then after that, we just took a little break.
Yeah, it seems that nowadays, when the summer is starting to slowly creep in, you kind of want to get out there and try to enjoy that weather. I mean, right now it is a really, really hot 91 degrees in Danbury. So we are in with fans. The windows are open, so we do apologize if the sound's not as good. But we've done tests, and it sounds good, right?
Yeah,
it sounds pretty good. So it's really warm out here. So wherever you guys are, I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Get out there; it should be a really good time. So, Cash, how have you been? What's new? What's going on in your life these days?
I've been good. Everything's basically the same. You know, body sore right now. You know, my body's been sore because of work, honestly, and work's just been too much. Like a lot of work, but
okay,
I live with it. You know, it's whatever. What about you?
Oh, work's been also kind of busy, but I forgot to mention these guys the last time. I actually volunteered at the Ridgefield Playhouse on Friday.
Oh, really?
It's really cool, and they have this really cool program where they let inner city kids watch shows at the Ridgefield Playhouse for free. And they usually ask volunteers from local businesses, and so me and the bank got asked and said, "Hey, let's do it." It's so much fun. It's like they're second graders. We watched this show about science, and it was fun. It had a lot of it talked about being encouragement to your friends. Real good, solid stuff. It's not like woke theater either. It's really, really good, and I think the kids had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun volunteering for it. So, shout outs to the Ridgefield Playhouse. You guys are great, and if you need more volunteers, let us know.
That's good. That's good. Well, we are actually going to be doing a segment. We're going to be talking about sports again. I know another sports episode, but like I said, it's the playoffs. You know, we got to talk about it. You know, and baseball's back. You know, but we are going to have a segment where PB, since he loves hockey, wants to have a 5 minute, maybe even longer, who knows, segment about hockey. So what's new in the hockey world?
Okay, this is 5 minutes of hockey. I like to call it the 5-minute major. So here's my thoughts on the hockey playoffs right now. The Rangers are down 2, but it's against a really, really tough Carolina team. And I think that the Rangers need to play a little bit more aggressive to really pull it out. The other different matchups that I'm seeing, looks like it's always going to be tough for each one of them. But here's the cool thing about my thoughts on hockey for this particular segment is that there is not one team in this tournament that I wouldn't mind seeing win the Stanley Cup. Every single one of them has something that I really, really like about them. I'm actually going to probably post that on our blog. So if you want more details about that, you're going to have to check out our blog, which is on LiveJournal, which is accessible we'll post the link on our Facebook page. And I thought I'd have more to say about the hockey playoffs, but apparently I don't. So it's only going to be for 3 minutes. I think I'll have a better one next week. But I guess this is just like a preview about what we were talking.
I'll say one thing, which I was pretty shocked. Not shocked, but I'm not a hockey fan, but I do watch, I look at it a little bit. The Rangers were down 2-0, right?
Yes, they were.
Who was it? It was against
Pittsburgh.
Against Pittsburgh. And they came back, right?
Yes, they did.
That's pretty crazy.
That's what I want. Okay, look. Okay, I got something. Leave the Rangers alone. I think that, you know how you feel about the Knicks all the time? That everybody's ragging on the Knicks? I feel that they're doing the same thing with the New York Rangers because every single time they have the Rangers, it's always for the other team. They're like, look at how good this guy scored the goal on the Rangers. And I think that I know why. See, in the game where the Rangers, I believe, tied it up, or when they clinched it, there was a controversial penalty where one of the players allegedly, they say, took down other player's helmet. Now, the rule states that a person has two options. He either can walk off, skate off to the bench, or he can pick up his helmet, doesn't need to strap it in, and just put it back on and continue to play defense. That player in Pittsburgh did not do that. There was some confusion in the line changes, and that's what caused the Rangers to tie it up. It's not the Rangers' fault that you guys did not know what the rule was. So, stop whining and crying that, oh, we didn't get the right call, which I know so many folks are going through right now. So many Pittsburgh fans are sour about it. And I love Pittsburgh fans, believe it or not. I think that they're great. But stop crying about it. The guy could have had a lot of other options, but you just didn't know the rule, and you gave up a 3-1 lead. So, too bad, so sad. And I think that's it. That's my 5-minute rant.
All right. Well, since we're done with the NHL, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do MLB or basketball?
I think let's do baseball first, and let's end it off with basketball.
Okay. So I first gotta say is Yankees are playing phenomenal.
Yankees are playing extremely phenomenal, and I liked Brother Zach's take on last week about how things are just clicking.
It's 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, things are just clicking with the New York Yankees. Their bullpen's doing well, pitching's going well. My main concern is that I think that we need to be taking advantage of having runners in scoring position. But you know what? We're still getting the job done. They've lost only 2 games in the last however how many. And I think that they're doing an excellent job, and we just need to keep it up.
Yeah. And then there's other things. Judge, I think, is going to get that contract. Judge is playing phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Judge is playing phenomenal. Stan's playing phenomenal. Just the team's playing phenomenal. But there's other things that's going on. Do you hear about the Correa and the Twins situation?
No, enlighten me.
Apparently, he wants to only for 1 year, and then he wants to opt out.
Correa. Well, the thing with Correa right now, he's also been injured. I have him sadly on my fantasy baseball team, and because nobody took him, so I said he's a good person to take. But he was injured, so I think they're not getting as much as a return on that. But we as Yankee fans sure are, because Josh Donaldson is doing very well for the New York Yankees.
And not only that, I think for the Yankees, just a lot of their players are playing well, and their defense got a lot better. IKF. I like IKF. I think he's a really good player. I think I was thinking to myself, I feel like once he starts to figure out, get his streak going and hitting the ball, he's gonna be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a phenomenal. The Yankees have a phenomenal team. But there's other things. What team shocks me the most? It's the Red Sox. The Red Sox are not playing too hot.
Sox. Here's the thing, and I know a lot of Yankee fans are going to hate me for this. Don't count the Red Sox out, because Red Sox. One thing I love about the Red Sox. Oh my gosh, a Yankee fan is loving something about the Red Sox. One thing I love about the Red Sox is they find a way, and with me, ever since the 2000s. The American League East playoff always has to be Yankees Red Sox. And yes, there's other great teams there. Not knocking on Tampa Bay. I'm not knocking my boys up in Toronto. And Baltimore also is really doing really well.
Baltimore,
they're doing.
They were on a six losing streak until they
But
actually
still, they're supposed to be a lot where Boston is right now. That's how Tampa Bay is. I mean, how Baltimore's supposed to be. But they're doing a lot better than I think most people expect. But don't count the Red Sox out just yet, man.
Then you got the Mets.
Oh,
goodness. The Mets are actually playing well.
But
not a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan, but I'm just saying they're playing well.
But Mets are going to have to try to figure out how to still get it done and they think they still do with Matt Scherzer out. So that's definitely a concern for us.
And then you got, Tampa Bay. Tampa's playing well, right? The Rays, right? They're playing well. Yeah. And then obviously the Blue Jays. Not only the Blue Jays, you also got other teams. I think Dodgers are playing well too.
There's also my National League team. A lot of people think that my National League team is the Mets. which it's not. Not that I have any problem against the Mets, but my National League team is the San Diego Padres, and they've won 20 games so far this year, and I really like how they're doing. Things are clicking. I think they'll give the Dodgers a bit of a problem, and that's what at least I hope. And here's the cool thing too: it's like they're the only because they're the team that's out of market. I can watch all of their games, and I can watch all of their games for free because MLB TV is free with T-Mobile subscribers, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't get a chance to watch as many because right now it's all about hockey and basketball. But once these have cooled off a little bit, and watching Yankee games and Padres games are going to be the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything else about baseball. What about you?
Let's see. In terms of baseball, I'm glad that I'm starting to get back into baseball. There was one time that I had 4 games on my computer, and my mom was like, "Why are you watching 4 games on your computer?" I was like, "Because I didn't know that there was the option to do so." Because the other thing, Xfinity provides great internet, but the cable box is terrible. So I have to watch games using my laptop, and I plug my laptop into my TV, and so it's amazing. I showed it to Matt last time that we were here. We were watching the which game was that?
Bucks versus Celtics.
We were watching the Bucks Celtics game for a little bit, and it was cool just watching it from my computer. So I think that's the reason. That's my only take on baseball. I think we'll have more information of baseball as we go through. But really, the key thing right now is hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
And with that, since I talk, because nobody here talks about hockey, that's probably the most that Matt has talked about hockey all year. Probably. And in fact, he texted me, he goes, "Hey, the Rangers are doing well." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, are you actually talking about hockey?" So, Nick, if you're out there, please give your thoughts and come back on the show so that I have someone to talk hockey about besides Justin also, who's out there. And not too many people like hockey. It's like that song, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't never talk about hockey.
Okay. That's just
okay. Never mind.
Let's keep on going. Keep on rolling over here. I wanted to talk a little bit about MMA, but you don't really.
That's
know
the
that
thing.
Much.
I used to be big on MMA. I used to be big on MMA. I used to be big on MMA and wrestling, which are two of the things that you really, really like. But I just have not gotten into it as much as I used to.
Let me ask you this question. It's an MMA question.
MMA.
Do you hear about Charles Oliveira getting his title vacant? So basically what happened was so in the lightweight division, you can't be higher than 155.
Oh, so he
was 155.5. So he got stripped
of his title because of half a pound?
He got stripped for his title for half a pound, and then he had a match against Gaethje.
And he beat Gaethje.
He beat Gaethje, yeah. He beat Gaethje.
But the title is now vacant.
It's
vacant.
So now...
So wait, if he loses... Let me ask you this. If he loses half a pound, does he retain it, or does he have to fight for it again?
No, he has to fight for it again.
But who's going to fight for it? The top contender?
Whoever. Well, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know who Dana White's going to be. I hope it's not. A lot of people say it might be Conor McGregor. I hope he not.
Conor McGregor.
Because, Conor McGregor should not. But my brother said that he wants Makhachev. He's another guy. I think Khabib. I believe, I'm not sure. It's Khabib's guy. He said, I think that would be a good one. I told my brother, honestly, we already saw 2 and 3, which is Gaethje and Poirier fought for that title already. So we should have the number 4 and 5 fight each other out, see who wins that, and get to then they get that contender shot.
Probably what I need, and if anybody could put this in the comments, like somebody who just needs to get up to speed with everything in MMA. I wish that there's like a site that just does that. But so if anybody knows that, pop it in the comments. Love to hear from you in terms of that. So now, this one sport that we talk about the most,
because we both like it, honestly.
And right now it is in full swing, and my brackets are busted, and I'm sure that your brackets are busted in terms of the playoffs.
Not really.
Not really. Oh,
because I still have the Warriors in the finals, and the Warriors are still, they're 2-0 right now. So hopefully they can get to the finals.
okay.
But I'm gonna say this: I'm so disappointed with the Suns.
I am.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
What
it.
the heck?
I'm not gonna. Okay. First, let's talk about this. So, I've been watching some First Take and stuff. First of all, Patrick Beverly doesn't know me, so I don't. If he finds out who I am, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. Don't be criticizing Chris Paul, who is a way better player than you, who does have more impact than you. You got bounced in the first round, and before you even got bounced, when you won the play-in tournament, you act like you won the freaking finals, but you didn't. You just won the play-in tournament to go in the playoffs, and then you get bounced. And just because Chris Paul wasn't playing too well that whole series, I'm talking about Mavs versus Suns, doesn't give you the right to say, oh, he's a bad player, he's a coon. He's
a what?
I say a cone. He guards like a cone, saying that he's not a good guard. Just stop. Bro, I'm sorry. What have you really done to you're not even. It's like what Matt Barnes said. You're not even gonna be in the Hall of Fame. You're just a role player, like I was, like he said, he was. So just stop. First, that's all I gotta say. I just gotta take that. Second of all, it's just yes, I am a little disappointed in the Suns because it's just dude, you're the number one team. Your best record. You were 64 14 or 15, and you lost.
Just blew it.
Yeah,
because you had the tools, but you just didn't utilize those particular tools. I would have given the ball to DeAndre Ayton every single time,
but he was playing bad. He let Luka literally. Luka demolish him,
looked like
put him
a
in the pole.
Superstar. There was this happened twice from what I saw. Luka just blows past four defenders, and then dunks it. I'm at first I was wait a minute, Luka dunks? It was when Steph Curry dunks, you're really? But the fact that he just blew past four defenders and then dunked the ball, I was just okay, this is over.
I gotta give it to the Mavs. I thought that trade that they did with the whole Spencer Dinwiddie and stuff, trading Porzingis.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a bad trade, but it seems like it was actually a good trade.
Dinwiddie is getting
They make it. Well, he's been playing good. He's been playing good now. Beginning of the season,
yeah.
But now it seems they made it to Western Conference Finals, and even if they lose, they have nothing to be upset about
because they
made it far. No one thought they were gonna make it this far. They thought they were gonna get bounced by round one against the Utah Jazz, who was another team that was very disappointing. Who was supposed to be the number one offensive team apparently,
and with the MVP, which is did we discuss this the last time?
Which one?
Okay, how the MVP is decided. Why is the MVP decided?
But Jokic is not in Utah.
Oh shoot, Jokic is in
Nuggets.
Sorry, never mind.
But let's talk about that real quick because I know you're gonna say Joel Embiid deserved it, right?
No. This is more of a conceptual thing. But finish. I got your.
The Jazz. The Jazz had probably has Rudy Gobert, who's probably the best defender in the league.
He is.
And Donovan Mitchell, who plays very well in the playoffs, which I felt like he was very disappointing this year.
He was also underwhelming.
He was underwhelming. And then you have Mike Conley, who's a veteran, and they lose to a Mavericks at first who don't even have Luka Doncic, who Jalen Brunson stepped up and killed them, bro. And then they face the Suns, who you think, okay, the Suns should beat them. But no. The Suns just they won twice at home, then Mavs won twice at home.
Folded.
Then the Suns won again at home, then the Mavs win again, and then they just lose at home. I'm bro, you have home court advantage. How are you losing?
I think really that the game that turned that around really was that shellacking that they gave them, where the point differential was just so immense.
No, what happened was, and this is me being honest, is because these guys just kept bragging, and they kept being cocky, and they thought they had it in the bag, and you know what? They got humbled. That's basically what happens. They got humbled. And then, now let's talk about the Nuggets, because, the Nuggets, I'm not going to say they were a disappointing team because, you only could go so far with Jokic. Unless you have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter with him, then they won't make it far because it's just really only Jokic. He was mostly doing most of the work.
But now we can get into the MVP thing.
We can.
So, talking about Jokic, why is it? And I've heard a lot of different things, so I just want to see your take on it. Why is it that the MVP is decided even before the whole season is over, because shouldn't like how a player plays, right? Like let's say for example, this is just my thought. Let's just say that the Mavs win it all. And I know, Lucas, if you're watching, you're probably like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. But let's just say that that the Mavs win it all, and Jason Kidd gets his first championship, which I would be ecstatic for. Which is also the other reason why I wanted the Suns to win, because I wanted Steve Nash to win one.
You mean Chris Paul?
Chris Paul. I don't have my facts today, goodness, because Steve Nash is the coach for
Nets.
For Nets, okay. Okay, this is why we need our statistician, which is what I heard folks always had. But anyways, if let's say Luka Doncic wins it, don't you think? And with the way that he's played in this playoffs, which is amazing, shouldn't he be then considered the MVP for the season?
No. So MVP is more of a regular season thing. That's why they have finalist MVP. That's why they have the finals MVP. And now they're making a new one where if whoever wins in the Eastern Conference Finals, so if the Celtics win, Jason Tatum will probably will get an MVP. And whoever wins in the Western Conference Finals is going to get their own MVP, which they call it the Larry Bird, I believe, and the Magic Johnson, I believe.
One of my friends at work, he said like, great, they're giving participation awards in basketball now.
But look, the reason why I say no is because for MVP, that's a regular season stats. Because when you go to the playoffs, it's different stats. They have postseason stats. So then that's why they had the finals MVP.
Here's another thing, like in terms of stats, like your career stats. Let's say that your playoff career stats is completely separate, right? You don't have
it's separate from your regular
career stats because like some folks would have like so many points already if you considered also their like postseason stats.
Look at Jimmy Butler, for example. In regular season, he was like doing, I think, like 24 to 22 points per game, and now in the playoffs right now in the final, in the postseason, he's doing like 28 points or something a game. So he's like, so they have different stats for So like for example, the Celtics was the number one defensive team in the league in the regular season, but in the postseason they're not right now. In the postseason, I don't know if it's I believe it was the Bucks, but I don't know if it's changed now because they got eliminated. Which is another thing. It's like, honestly, I want the Warriors to win, but at the same time, I'm going to say this: if the Warriors to win and if the Mavs win, I'm fine with that too. And the reason why I'm fine is because you'll get new faces. Boston Celtics or the Heat. If Boston wins, I don't want them to win. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Brandon, but be honest with you, Brandon, I don't want Boston to win. But if they win, can't do anything about it. But you know what? That's a new team and a new team that could get a ring or get a championship. Jason Tatum could get a ring. Jaylen Brown can. Marcus Smart can. Or let's say the Mavs win and the Mavs face them, and the Mavs win. Luka Doncic will get a ring. Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson. So you got. And then let's say if the Heat wins, you got Jimmy Butler. Kyle Lowry get his second ring. You got Bam Adebayo who didn't win a ring either. But if you get the Warriors, here's another thing. If you get the Warriors, obviously Clay, Curry, Draymond will get 4. But then Jordan Poole will get a new one. Jonathan Kuminga, Damian Lee. I don't know how much will Looney get. I think Looney will get what? Looney will probably get like his third one or fourth one.
I'm not sure.
I think it might be his fourth one. But I'm just saying, like, so it's different perspective.
Yeah, it's the same thing I said about the my NHL playoffs. Like every single one of those teams, I would like, and yes, I will work on an article for our blog about that. But yeah, every single one of them, they have players on there that just have never won a title. Like for example, on Florida, there's Joe Thornton. He's played in the most games in the league forever. And has never won a Stanley Cup. So I wouldn't mind Florida winning. I wouldn't mind Tampa Bay winning because a lot of my favorite players are on Tampa Bay. Like former Rangers are on there. They've got great, like Steve Stamkos is one of my favorite players. He's on there. And that's the same thing with these teams here. Granted, like all the things you said, I would agree with because I'd love for Jimmy Butler to win. I think he's put in his time and he's really found a great niche here. In the Heat, and I hope he stays because I know he's a bit of a.
He will.
He's like he was getting to be in that journeyman territory. The guy that just keeps going from team to team.
He found a home. He found a home.
Yeah.
He'll stay. Here's a team that I'm very happy. I'm sorry. I'm very happy that they didn't make it far. Sixers. I'm telling you right now, and I told you this earlier. People saying that James Harden and Joel Embiid was the best duo that's gonna happen. I'm like, it's not, bro. Sorry to say it, but James Harden is regressing. Like he's digressing. He's not getting better. He's doing bad. And I'm honestly gonna say, even though the Nets got bounced in the first round, I still think they won this. They won this trade. I really do still think they won the trade.
I agree. I think that when Ben Simmons finally stops being a baby and starts really working again and then being part of this system, it's going to be great. But even if
you don't have Ben Simmons, you got Seth
Curry and
I don't. Was it Drummond's last year? You might not even. If it was, you might not even sign him, or you can re-sign him if you want. Yeah. But my thing is, for the Nets to be good, and this is me being honest, I think the Nets need to let some of those vets go and try to get some new heads, like some younger guys, that support Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving.
What if the cost of that is getting rid of Kyrie Irving?
Well, Kyrie Irving has one more year with them right now.
Okay. What if you trade him? No, you can't trade him.
Well, right now, it seems like they don't know if they want him. But as of right now, if they want to become something good, it's get younger guys. Try to get at least guys younger guys who maybe looking for that are probably in the league that no one wants, and try to trade for vets. Because there's gonna be there's gonna be teams that want vets.
Mm-hmm.
You're always gonna need vets in your team.
Right.
And then try to do it around Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. That's how you have to do it.
Now, here is, I think, the concluding. This is the final thought question.
No, before you do that, can we just talk about real quick? Yesterday, how the Warriors came back.
Honestly, when I was switching from sports to sports, it's like, dang, Mavs got this. Dang, Mavs got
this.
When
I saw that I saw that they were down by 14 and a half, I'm like, the Warriors gonna come back. And one of my friends is like, we gotta see. And bro, I kid you not, they just like tear it up.
They did. But I'm not gonna. But
I'm not counting the Mavs out.
You can't count the Mavs out.
But I'm gonna say this: I honestly believe if the Warriors can at least take one in Dallas, then
it's over.
I think it's over.
You don't think that they can win like 4 in a row?
Dude, you know how hard it is to win at Golden State at their arena? It's tough. They're 8-0 right now.
Okay,
the only second team, the team that was, other than the Warriors, were the Heat, but they lost last time. Which I'm gonna say this: the Heat has to respond today. If the Heat can respond big today and take this game, we got a game series. We got a game series going, bro.
And I think that Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, and I love that.
It's not
Bam Adebayo.
It's Bam. Bam Adebayo has to be aggressive. He has to. He's not doing anything right now.
But that's really odd because aggressiveness is usually the whole persona about Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, but he's not being aggressive. He's not being aggressive offensively. Defensively, he's playing well, but offensively, he's not.
I think that being aggressive, from what I've seen, is always the better answer, whether it's basketball or hockey. The more aggressive team
and baseball
and baseball.
I mean, mostly any sports,
right?
Maybe not MMA. I feel like MMA is a lot different
because you have to. Because sometimes that aggressiveness.
There's some times where in MMA you have to take it. You have to be technical and you have
to be smart.
It's like a chess. It's like playing chess.
Yeah, but if you're super aggressive, that can be turned against you.
Yeah, it could.
But I think in these sports that we have, you have to really be more aggressive. Like one of my favorite, and you have to watch this movie. You would promise me that you'll watch this movie.
What's the movie?
The movie is Miracle.
All right, gotcha. I'll watch it.
You have Disney Plus. Watch Miracle. It's awesome. Even if you're not a hockey fan, you will like this movie. Okay. And Herb Brooks, he's the coach of the team. He says, "You don't defend them, you attack them." And so I asked my dad. It was like, what's the best defense? The best defense is a good offense. So you always have to go and fight aggressively. When the Rangers do that, they will win. If the Heat do that, they will win.
I mean, look at how they play in Game 1 when they were losing badly, but then their defense got really good. Where when their defense got better, their offense got better.
Yeah, because I think you're the one who put this point. The more aggressive that you are when you attack the basket, that means they really have to they're forced to defend you, and then there's the likelihood of also getting
and they're making you work
fouled.
too.
Making you work,
They're making
right?
you work.
And
That's the Warrior. That is what the Warriors want to do when Luka is there. They want him to defend because they're making you work. Defending. It's if you play aggressive and if you're attacking, you're letting that other player also work hard and making them get exhausted too. Not only you, just them.
right. And so here's my final thought because we are getting close to the edge. Knicks have the 11th pick in the NBA draft. Which player? Well, we don't. I know that you don't know who in terms of college, but which
What position?
Which position do the Knicks spend that 11th round draft pick on?
It's tough because what I'm thinking about is because I'm thinking about it because we're at this point where we have a lot of guards, but we do need a point guard. But I'm also looking at it like this is like this is something I'm thinking of. There's a point guard that's gonna be in the off season that is not gonna be with the Mavs no more. I thought that maybe the Knicks would try to sway him to get.
Yeah, wasn't that the person that Zach was talking about?
I don't know which one was he talking about.
I think it was
Brunson. I was like Jalen Brunson.
But he said that would you trade
Randall
for him? And I said yes.
So I was thinking about because I like Brunson. I like how he plays, and he's been playing phenomenal in the playoffs.
Yes.
And Mavs, they're gonna have to give him the way he's playing. They have to give him a good amount of money because I don't think they do. He's not gonna go. But like I said, we have a lot of guards. We have a lot of guards, and we don't even know Mitchell Robinson's coming back.
So you're thinking point guard.
It depends.
Center.
So it depends. I think if Mitchell Robinson doesn't come back, then I'll say center, because then we'll have Jericho Sims and then someone else, a good center.
Gotcha.
But if we're looking into it and we're trying to find a young player who can be a point guard, then point guard. But the issue I have is we have so much guards. Like for example, Miles McBride, he's a point guard.
Is he a natural point guard?
Yeah, his position is point guard. He plays the point. And then Emmanuel Quigley is a shooting guard, but you play him as a point guard. Then you got Derrick Rose, who's our a veteran point guard. We still got Kemba Walker right now, and he's our veteran point guard. So you got to figure it out. And then if Alex Burks, they have him as a point guard, even though he's not a point guard, he's a shooting guard. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing that's killing us is the point guard position. We need to find a solid point guard that could defend and that could give you buckets and that could make it more easier for players. Like if I know Zach thinks that if we keep Randall, help him out a lot. And if we keep Mitch Robinson, that will help.
You already know which point guard that I want. Because I always want him.
Donovan Mitchell? No. Kyle Lowry?
No.
Wait, which one?
Fred VanVleet.
Oh, Fred VanVleet.
I love Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet's gonna be with the Raptors for a while.
He's like the second coming of Damon Stoudemire.
But yeah, that's me personally. Me personally think in the
Fred VanVleet to New York.
If you don't get Mitchell Robinson in the offseason, then you probably will have to go to the center position. But if you get Mitchell Robinson in the offseason and you don't try to go for Brunson or another point guard that's actually like
Fred VanVleet.
I don't know. Is he? I think he's still in contract. Then you go for a point guard. But then you're gonna have that situation where if I was Tom Thibodeau, what I would do is have point guards fight each other to see who actually get the main one. Obviously, he's gonna put Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose is the main guy, but Derrick Rose is probably gonna be one of the guys that want minutes restriction too now.
Yeah, because they're getting old. Both him and Kim are getting old. You need someone fresh. So I would take a chance and get a point guard from college.
I would say this, and this is what I would say. I would really try, if you don't get a point guard, I really would try Miles McBride. I honestly think Miles McBride, he's a good defender, and I honestly believe if you give him more minutes and you give him more playtime, he will give you some production. Yeah. It's the same thing of Obi Toppin. If you give him more minutes, give him more playtime, he'll give you production. We saw that at the end of the season.
With him, I think if you need, he's so underutilized. I think what I love about Toppin is he just doesn't bring skill. He also gives that. He reminds me of
energy.
He's like our Draymond Green, but nicer. That's what he is.
Basically.
Because I love his energy. I love the spark that he gives on the bench. I love it when he's mic'd up.
Yeah.
When he's mic'd up on TNT, it is.
I honestly think the Knicks have a good solid.
A lot of pieces. A lot of
draft
pieces.
picks. Like, I think quickly will be good. RJ Barrett, I honestly believe RJ Barrett's gonna be our future
Yeah.
All-Star. Me personally.
And not to transition this back to hockey, but Rangers are kind of like the same way. Both the New York teams.
And you can say Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees even too. They were called the baby bombers.
Still, RJ still call the baby bombers.
Yeah, like they're called the baby bombers. The best line of the Rangers is called the kid line, and we've got the baby Knicks. And there's a great future if we can keep these cores together. There's a great future for New York for all of our sports teams. So, we've been to talk about the Islanders, and the Mets and the Devils, but don't know as much about them because we're
New York fans.
More of those New York fans. But yes, so that is our sports.
The only one we didn't
episode.
talk about was football, bro.
Yeah, football. This is. I made a promise because I haven't really not been paying that much attention to
Jets
football.
got some good. I heard
Jets
got
have
some
yeah.
picks.
The
And I heard the Giants got some good picks.
Jets I think have a pretty decent wide receiver, but what's really gonna come down to is do all the pieces fit.
Yeah.
I'm still a little unsure about how their offensive line is going to be because I'm old school like that, and knowing how the Jets were in the past, you have a good solid offensive line, you can have anybody behind there and still make a good chance at it. So, but maybe we'll have a football special. We'll probably see if we can get Richard back on the show to give us a football special for that.
Well, I know we went kind of longer than usual.
No, it's all right.
But, like we always say before we end the show, and that is...
We don't know you, but we love you, and there's a God above that does. I'm PB.
And I'm Cashew.
Peace out, PB Cashewville.